Hello, conscious co-creators, and welcome to your pick a card reading today. We are going to be getting messages from the flamingo spirit animal for you in this reading. As you can see, your card options and group options are already laid out here for you to choose from. For group option and card option number 1, we've got the flamingo card with the word confident on it. For card option and group option number 2, we have card number 26 in this deck, Flamingo Spirit, Embrace the In-Between. And for card option and group option number 3, we have card number 20 in this deck, and it says, You Are What You Think. So take all the time that you need to decide, and once you have made your selection, you can head down to the description and click on the timestamp next to the flamingo card that you've chosen, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your Flamingo Spirit Animal reading today. If you're listening to this, you've chosen the first card option here with the word confident on it, and it says, I navigate difficult times in my life with grace and ease. Even though situations can be hard, I believe in my ability to handle them and handle them well. And oftentimes what I'm noticing about this particular card that you've chosen is oftentimes we see the flamingo standing on one leg, and in this case it's depicted and pictured in the water standing on both legs. So there's this sense of stability, confidence that's coming from this particular flamingo energy. You know, flamingos are operating in this kind of threshold energy oftentimes. And they, have this sense of balance that usually comes along with them. So in this case, it feels like, especially considering the language that is on this card that you've chosen, that your flamingo spirit wants to remind you first and foremost that you have everything you need to assess challenges, assess things that are difficult, and then have the confidence, like courage, energy to stand your ground if you need to be able to embrace the transitions that you're going through, to be able to straddle a threshold and stay strong in that vibe. Because sometimes it can be very uneasy when we're trying to handle something that's challenging, right, or difficult. And in this case, you have a card that's really talking about it's okay for you to put both feet on the ground, to stand your ground, to be confident and brave, that you will be able to get through this. And you can do it with a sense of grace and ease is what it's talking about. Even if it's hard, it doesn't mean that it's not even though it's hard, it's not always messy. That's kind of how they're giving it to me, like complicated. It can be, I know this sounds weird. That's why my words are kind of like wrapping up in themselves. But how Spirit is saying it literally is, even though it's hard, it can be easy. So I'm trying to find the right way to describe that to you. But I guess just saying it as it's coming is the best way to do that. It's like, not only are you going to believe that you can handle things, that you have the ability and the capabilities to do that, but you can handle them well. And what might seem difficult to other people may actually be quite easy for you, or easier than you think. So what's hard can actually be easy. That's how they're saying it, literally. Okay, let's get some information from this flamingo spirit animal for you, especially if it concerns like difficulties that you're going through. We're going to look at your core energy first. Oh, by the way, this is the Golden Girls Tarot Mini. I just thought it was so appropriate. Queen of Wands, not surprising at all. You got Sophia sitting there on her throne. So this energy is an energy of complete confidence right in your core. This is exactly what the card is talking about. It's charismatic, inspiring energy that you have in your core, that I have the ability not only to move through difficult situations, but to keep my light shining bright as I do that. I don't need to dim my light just because things are getting hard or they feel challenging, difficult. I've met an obstacle. They're frustrating. So to have a Queen of Wands, this is telling me that you do have, like the flamingo is telling you, you do have every ability to handle whatever's coming through with this sense of brightness. The Queen of Wands is a beautiful queen. She's super charismatic. People are very drawn to her. And so for you to have this in your core energy, it's just confirmation of what this card is telling us. We're going to see now what might be challenging that core energy for you. The Empress, interesting. And look at this. Yeah. The feeling of they're both seated on a throne, very different energy is what I would say. The Empress, of course, is a beautiful and abundant energy. This is a major arcana card, but she's considered the mother of the major arcana. And to have her crossing this fire energy for you, I would say that you may not be taking care of yourself, or you may have a challenging time taking care of yourself through, navigating difficulties. So it's not that you can't do it or that you don't have the proper spirit, right, to do it. You have the confidence, you are able, but there's this sense of needing to nurture. When you get an Empress energy, she sits tall knowing that everything is always abundant, that she is growing something beautiful, and she's not afraid to nurture herself and those around her. And especially during like a difficult time, you need to make time for you. That's what this card is really saying. Whatever it is that you want to grow, you don't want to doubt that it's growing. So even though it might look like on the exterior in the world, what you're seeing in the physical world in front of you, that things are not growing, or they're not manifesting the way that you wanted them to, or they're not happening, or like you've put your work into something and you put your light into something and you're being met with, let's say, frustrating situations or things not moving as fast, or needing to sit for a minute on the threshold energy, the kind of in between one and before, like you're ending one and you're beginning another, that in between space. When we're transitioning, it may seem to you that things are not growing, that things are not abundant, that things are not prosperous. But to me, this feels like they're kind of challenging you to believe energetically as opposed to in the physical realm. If you're not seeing it, it doesn't mean it's not growing. Whatever it is that you're nurturing is coming to life. And then also this message of needing to take care of yourself as you're shining your light, as you're doing, because with the Queen of Wands in your core, fire energy, when it gets overexerted, can be exhausting. It can burn you out. You can feel like you're just putting out all of this energy all the time. And even though you are confident, etc., it may not feel easy, right? And so we're understanding for your reading, this flamingo spirit wants you to know that difficult things can also be easy. It doesn't mean that you burn yourself out over it. The challenge is really nurturing yourself and nurturing whatever it is that you're putting your energy into and working on in a way that is grounded and balanced and confident at the same time. So I feel like there's this, it's just a warning of burnout. That's what it feels like, because we're getting this mothering energy that is the challenge. So if you're not nurturing yourself as you're kind of living in your spirit and shining your light and showing up for difficult things and doing it in a graceful way, you may have this exhaustion happen, and we don't want that. We don't want to see that happen. We want to make sure that you're being nurtured all along the way, and that you're trusting that even if you can't see it yet, whatever it is that you're growing. The Empress, the mother, think about when a baby is growing. At first, you can't see any indication externally, right? And then evidence starts to appear in the physical realm that there is something growing here, that there is life being produced here. And that's the feeling. It's like, don't give up just because you can't see it. Let's see what we have above you first, what Spirit has to say about this. The Knight of Swords, wonderful. This is movement card, and this is what they're talking about. Like, just because you can't see it moving doesn't mean it's not moving. And I feel like there is a really amazing plan that's in place, or whatever you're executing on. They're trying to tell you that you're moving in the right direction with it. The Knight of Swords, all knights are movement. So the Knight of Swords is air, movement of air. It's like your ideas moving you forward. The insights that you're gaining are on the right track. You want to keep on that line, but air, you can't see air, right? So Spirit's trying to give you confirmation that whatever idea you're looking to bring to life, or whatever insights that you're having, or whatever you're trying to shift or change, you're moving in the right direction. They do not want you to be giving up on it. They just want you to understand that first we make the plans, and then we have to execute on the plans, and then we start to see the outcome of them, right? The results of them. And it feels like right now you're in a bit of that air energy, that transition energy, where it may not have completely come to fruition yet, but you're working on doing that, and you're headed in the right direction. That's what they keep saying. It's almost like they need you to know the plan is working and they're on board. So it's like your spirit team aiding you in the forward movement. They're saying production. They're saying that word, forward production of whatever this idea is, this plan is, this strategy is that you're implementing. They get it, and they're aiding you in that. Let's see. I kind of feel like also with that warning of burnout, the Knight of Swords showing up there in the overview, what air can do to fire is like, get it out of control. And that's what they're trying to say, like, we have a hand in this as well. So honor your fire and acknowledge your fire so that you can nurture it in a way that works for you without getting swept up in the plans in your mind. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I have to do this. We got to get all this done, where you're burning out. Instead, there's an element of the divine also working on the plan or forwarding the idea or the insight or the project or whatever it is that you're looking to move on. Let's see what we have beneath you here. The Seven of Swords. Dorothy and the Knight, it looks like. Okay. A Seven of Swords energy is an interesting energy, yeah. This feels like we are questioning. That's the energy that I'm getting from this today. It's a questioning energy that feels like I'm doubting myself. I might be doubting my abilities. I might be doubting my authenticity. I might be doubting these ideas that I have. I might be doubting the plan. And I think, it's probably from what they've already discussed, which is I'm not seeing it show up. Like, where is it? I've been putting my energy into it. I'm shining my light. I'm charismatic. You may have forgotten to take care of yourself in that, or to nurture the parts of yourself that you may be neglecting. So make sure that you're paying attention to that, listening to your body, listening to the energy, listening to your mind and what it actually needs. But here, this Seven of Swords, a lot of people will read this as a manipulative card, and sometimes it does feel like that. Somebody's trying to swindle you or tell you lies or create an illusion or whatever. But I feel for you, Group 1, this card in the rooted energy, it's an authenticity card when it is in a high expression. So it's like banking on your truth, your unique insight, your plan, who you are, what this thing is that you're working on that is unique to you, that makes you an individual. And if we get in a lower expression of this, especially if it's our rooted energy, we may be doubting those ideas, thinking like, am I fooling myself that this is what I should be working on, what I should be putting my energy into? Am I tricking myself into thinking that, I can pull this off? Or noting the hard and difficult times, the obstacles, the challenges as a sign or a symbol that you have to stop doing it altogether. So that's intuitive. If there's a roadblock in your path or you keep hitting your head against a wall, there's usually something that needs to change when Spirit's giving us that kind of an indication, right? If it's the same thing, you're in a cycle and you keep getting met with frustrating or difficult situations, you may need to change something. But does that mean that you have to give it up altogether? I don't know. But I feel like there's a bit of illusion and doubts going on, and we need to conquer those by really standing in your power of who you truly are and what is unique to you, your unique talents, your unique abilities to handle anything that's coming up with ease and handle it well. As opposed to, oh my God, I don't know if this is the right track. I don't know what I'm doing. Do I know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm doing. The idea here is that she's stealing these swords so that she can avoid conflict tomorrow, right? She's like stealing them in the night because she's observing that ahead of time there might be a conflict. So because this is rooting your energy, you really want to pay attention to what feels insightful and true for you. And don't tell yourself any lies about your capabilities. It may just be that you're about to burn out or that you're giving too much when you need to be giving a little more to yourself. That could be the only thing that needs to change. It could be a minor change if you're hitting a difficult patch, as opposed to, I got to scrap this all together. I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough for this. This isn't going to come to, like all these doubts swirling. You got to be careful with a Seven of Swords rooting your energy. The flamingo's like, no, no, no. Stay confident. Be like logical. You have swords. Use your mind, your intellect, and your intuition together to like problem solve. It may be just the simplest solution, but because if you're on the edge of burnout or you're exhausting your energy, your mind can be in a swirling vibe where you're like, oh my God, this is never going to work. You know, I've lied to myself. And so we want to make sure that we're being aware of that and trusting in the most clear insight, logical insight as well, because you've got it coming from spirit too. So it's like they will check off. They'll give you the check that says, nope, that's still in place. That still works. You can move forward on that. That idea, that thought is a lie. So you can get rid of that. So I would be constantly checking in with spirit here, especially if your mind's getting the better of you. And as I said, be very aware of when there's a stop sign that's just like, you need to stop for the moment, as opposed to catastrophic, I need to stop, like catastrophizing. And yeah, it's like worst case scenario energy. You may just need to rest instead of like nix the whole thing. Okay, let's see what's behind you here, just to give me a little insight. What do you have to tell us about, no. What do you have to tell us about what's behind my group ones here? Thank you. Ooh, there it is. So there's that insight. So you see, you have a knowing group one. You're definitely on the right path. Spirit's giving us the indication. Look at all this air. Whatever this is that you are planning, or whatever you've gained as far as like this intuitive hit, and understanding, clarity around something, whatever your truth has been telling you, a King of Swords behind you tells me like, you probably sat very firmly in it. And that's why you're either trying to take action on it, or you have begun to walk this path in the first place. But because we're, again, like kind of straddling a transition point, you may be starting to have doubts right now, but this indicates that, you know, you were right on point, because the King of Swords is always going to wait for the right insight. He's very intelligent, very logical, very intuitive. He's sitting there, you see, on his throne, just with his sword up, waiting to hear, to understand, to know, is this the truth? Is this right? Is this the right strategy? Is this the plan? And that's not to say that plans can't change, because of course they can, and you may need to make some changes along the way. But this tells me that you were right on target, that there was some mastery energy involved in whatever it is that you've channeled in, or this insight or idea that you're moving forward on. And now we're just in a space where you may have been going really hard, and there needs to be more ease and nurturing included in order to continue to have that clarity and stay aligned with your talents, your natural unique abilities, etc. So that's good. I like seeing that there. Let's see what's up ahead for you. Group one. What does group one have ahead of them? What does the flamingo spirit have to say for you? What can they expect ahead? Look at this. Wow. Yeah. It's a returning to your light, the King of Wands. Wow. So see, this is, whatever you're working on, this is a good idea. Sometimes I'm just feeling like, you know, you've got the Queen in your core. You got all court cards here on this line, and an Empress. She's begging you to take care of yourself. She's begging you to nurture what needs to be nurtured, and not just like zero in and get caught up in your mind on what you think you need to nurture. You have to keep checking in, because again, a King of Wands, this sees you bringing this to full, vibrant fruition. It's going to be very inspiring to others. Top of your game, Master of the Suits. Look at that, Master of the Suits flanking you, group one. It's just that you don't want to get caught up in the fire here. That was the, you know, the warning from the core, and now we're moving in to the mastery of that energy. So for me, it tells me that you, group number 1, can and will master this energy. You're not going to burn yourself out, hopefully. You're definitely, if you're hearing this, you're definitely meant to hear that message so you can start being very consciously aware of that, because you are in the high up frequency of this suit of fire. You're meant to shine your light. You're meant to put this out there. You're meant to be in the spotlight. You're meant to work from a very purposeful, inspiring, as I said, charismatic place. You're meant to shine bright. So if you're in a transition where you're starting to question that, this tells us that no, you're on the right track. It's just the burnout can stop you in your tracks, and there's nothing that Spirit can do about the choices that you're making. That's your free will. That's your power to choose. If you choose to like lay yourself out, things may take a bit longer for you to get to the mastery position, to top of the game, etc., to be seen fully in this way. I mean, this is leadership energy. You're coming from a place of intuitive and intellectual leadership, bringing something to life, and then being able to be in a leadership position to shine that out into the world or to inspire others. And so to step into that full energy, there needs to be what we were talking about, just this conscious awareness around what you need to give yourself to keep your fire burning as opposed to burning it out, right? And then things will come to full fruition. You may be just in a very powerful position. You may be seen by some powerful people, definitely viewed like as a leader in whatever it is you're working on. You have what it takes. You pick the confident card. It's just, I think you've been met with some difficulties and your mind may be getting the best of you. However, you have every ability to tune in and to get the insight you need to then provide yourself and nurture yourself, give yourself what you need during this like fertile process, right? During this time of creation, then it will come to fruition here. And you're in the leadership position fully. Love it. Okay, so let's see what your final message is here from your flamingo spirit animal. Okay, befriend the word polarize, which is perfect for this group. And it's a 25-7, which is always going to point us right back to this rooted energy. It's like, knowing that there are two sides to the coin, that there are two sides to everything. That's how things balance out. When we're looking for balance here, it's hard and it's easy at the same time. And they started your reading with that. So this is about recognizing and acknowledging both sides of things. And it's a higher consciousness understanding around the polarization of things, yin and yang. You need both to be able to create balance. So if you're just going hard in fire, then you are going to just swing to one side. You need to have the other piece in order to create this nice push and pull that creates the balance, the energetic balance. Just because you don't see it yet doesn't mean it's not being created. You're doing the work on the physical plane. The divine is doing the work in the universal or spiritual plane, right? The energy of it, balancing that energy out. We have to believe. You need to balance your mind and your fire with something that's going to allow for rest. It's not all about doing. They're really asking you to recognize it can look really hard and feel really hard, and then also be very simple and easy at the same time. High level concept from your flamingo spirit to close out your reading. So I hope that this serves you. Group number 1, if something resonated with you in this reading, please give it a like or leave me a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss my future readings, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your Flamingo Spirit Animal reading. If you're listening to this, you've chosen the second Flamingo card option, and it's card number 26, which is an 8 energy. So decisions and balance and serenity coming from those numbers, and it says, embrace the space in between. This is a lovely energy to be in, and also can be a bit difficult energy. The reason why I'm saying that is picture like a threshold that you're straddling, like one foot in one world and one foot in the other. And the flamingo is kind of giving you the indication that it's safe for you to start to make choices that are in more balance. So Sixes are harmony energy. That's why I'm saying that. It just feels like this flamingo is guiding you through the in-between to embrace the transition of it all, but it doesn't mean that you have to like stop making choices that are in your highest alignment for serenity, for instance, or to harmonize parts of your life, or to feel like you can like take your power back through your decisions. So in between doesn't mean like, yeah, they're saying in between doesn't mean do nothing. Okay, interesting. I mean, of course that is true. In between doesn't mean do nothing. The flamingo, often is depicted with standing on one leg. So there's this feeling of decisions that are balanced, that keep you in balance, even if you're transitioning from one space to another, or one world to another, or you're in the process of some sort of elevation, evolution kind of energy, transformative energy, rebirth energy. Sometimes we're in that space that's kind of like we're leaving parts of ourselves that are old, while we're also carrying some of them still and trying to embrace new parts of ourselves and trying to just figure that out. So it's a process. And in this case, I'm getting the 2-6, it's an 8, right? Which is a beautiful manifestation number. It is a number that tells you that your authenticity can help you move forward, that you're learning much more about yourself, that you're more comfortable with who you are. But they're splitting the numbers for me. They're really wanting me to engage them as 2s, which is about this or that decision making, and then that 6, which is about harmony. So it's like your power to choose in the in-between is what the flamingo spirit is trying to give as the overarching energy. Okay, let's see what's in your core first, core energy. The Page of Wands, yeah. This is the very start of a new inspiring energy, a new inspiring chapter. So when we get a page, we know that we have news that is coming in, that we're not going to be, thank you, void of news or void of information. That's how they're saying it. You won't be void of it. So it will be available. But this is fire energy. So we're looking to our spirit in order to ask those questions and try to flow with the curiosity of them and what comes in. So what is inspiring you? Where does your purpose kind of lead you? What feels like it's lighting you up right now? Listening, she's like in the middle of a beach with her wand, Sophia. By the way, this is the Golden Girls Tarot. I just felt like it was appropriate and Spirit gave me the yes, so we're using that for today's poll. But the Page of Wands tells me there's a new chapter that's happening. And again, this is like an in-between, a processing. So you don't have all of the information yet, but you're starting to feel the sparks of your spirit leading you in a different direction. Again, leaving parts of yourself behind in order to become new versions of yourself or leveling up. And with the page, we want to be in curiosity and wonder. It's a young energy. The page energy starts the core cards in the minor arcana. So, you've closed out a chapter and now we're looking to get information and insight and feel into what our spirit wants us to do, what feels good, what feels inspiring, what feels purposeful. Let's see what might be challenging this energy for you now. What is challenging my group 2s to stay open and curious? The 9 of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. This is a marker of success, I would say. So it's like you've reached a point, at least in your head or in your physical experience, meaning the 9 of Pentacles, you can see Blanche, she's sitting back, she's enjoying a glass of champagne, relaxing, etc. It's a place where you have the resources that you need and you have more than what you need. So not only do you have what you need and you probably understand that, or hopefully you do. Maybe the challenge is that you don't understand that you have everything you need, that you don't have to like rush something, that you can wait for the fire to show you the way, for you to be inspired and follow that a bit. You don't have to like force yourself into doing something. You may be not taking a moment to reflect and go like, wow, I've made it to this place where I have everything plus that I need. This is a physical card, right? A 9 of Pentacles. And I said, it's a very lucrative, abundant card. It's a card of fulfillment. It's an independence card. Lots of times this is connected to entrepreneurial energy. It's the energy of getting to a space where you have done the work to have way more than you need. And you have the ability to enjoy some of it, to like relax a bit, right? Like Blanche is doing, to invest in maybe other things, that you don't have to worry so much about the things that you maybe used to worry about. So if you're crossing this threshold, it's really important, because this is challenging this new chapter energy, that you acknowledge what it is that you have, what it is that you've gained, the markers you've hit, the success even that you have, resources that you have to work with, and leaning into relaxing a bit into the wonder of how your spirit wants to drive, like how your spirit wants to drive you over the threshold or through the transition. Maybe some of the old ways are not going to work in the new land or on the new path. You may have to leave some, again, pieces of yourself behind. This feels like a leveling up and a becoming. And this tells me that maybe you feel like you have not reached a point where you can do this, but the Nine of Pentacles asks you to step into that. So they keep showing me the word reflection. So I'm going to say that some reflection may be needed for this group. You may not be in complete awareness or conscious of what you have accomplished, or the work that you have done, and how it has paid off for you. That is like a gratitude energy. And then that's why when you get a Nine of Pentacles, you kind of realize what you have, and then you use it in a different way. You take some time off, you take some time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you rearrange or decide on how it is you're going to use your resources differently. So they're just giving me the word reflection, group two. So it just feels like the challenge is to stop for a second, realize you're a beginner again. You have this young energy, and it's important for you to reflect on how far you've come to inform you. It's like opening a new door, opening a new space. You have to open your mind, open your energy, and pay attention to what's coming through, so that you can understand where to invest your time, money, energy, etc. And there may need to be a rest period or a reflection period. So if you're fighting that and you're just like, let's go, let's move on to the next thing. When am I going to be over this threshold? Your flamingo spirit animal is like, we want you to embrace this in-between time. You don't have to jump to the next thing. You've clearly hit a beautiful marker of success, and there's some fulfillment here that needs to be acknowledged, which is nice. I mean, this is a nice challenge to have, right? It's like pulling it back for a second, and then you'll probably receive the sparks that you need, the insight that you need, the drive energy may come back. If you're just trying to like plow through something when they're telling you, no, we're in between, we need a space here, that would be why this Nine of Pentacles is challenging you. It's like you're not taking a moment, taking a beat. So please try to do that. Let's see what's above you here, how Spirit wants to guide you. What does the flamingo spirit animal have to say here? Okay, Two of Pentacles. More physical energy. Blanche, you can see she's trying to decide there, right? We talked about decisions. We talked about twos with your two there. And this Two of Pentacles it's a good card for juggling energy. So like Spirit is telling you, you're going to be able to juggle whatever it is that you need to juggle. You can manage it, no problem. When you get a Two of Pentacles, you want to make very balanced decisions. And again, you're looking for a sense of peace and harmony. That's the decisions you want to be making. They're giving it to you from above now. They're saying, you don't want to be rushing or in extreme energy. You want to be able to look at and reflect on what you have, what you've created, and how to use it. So you're not making like crazy decisions at this time. It's the sense of like embracing the in-between, embracing the space, to just be even, making very smart decisions, making very strategic decisions that feel right in the pocket of harmony, balance. You may need just a break in this group. I just feel like you guys might need a break. Like to shut down all the, electronics, to go on a mini break, to, even if you're like staying at home, you intentionally say, no, in order to balance out what I've been taking in, I need to just not take anything in. Like I'm not going to, look at my phone all the time, or I'm not going to make any plans with other people where I'm going to have to keep putting out energy. It just feels like making really balanced decisions, and Spirit's coming in to make sure that you understand that this is in your highest alignment. Balanced decisions to create harmony in your life. There's a pocket of a void that's going on for this group for sure. It's connected to a new beginning. So it's not like you're not beginning and turning over something. It's just, again, there's a process to things. Let's see what's rooting your energy here. What is below my group twos? The Hierophant. So the Hierophant energy is divine commitment, divine purpose, right? And this is what we're waiting to see. So it will drive you. That's wonderful to have in this position. Why? Because when we get a Hierophant energy that is driving us or rooting us, the only thing that you can do is to make a purposeful commitment, something that is completely in alignment with what it is that, yes, you're inspired to do, but what you feel is your service to like the world or yourself or others. It's a commitment of the soul. It's a divine commitment that is made. And the only way that you can call that in is by, taking a moment perhaps to reflect or listening to what it is that you're meant to do now. What is my purpose now? What am I meant to tap into? Where do I need to commit myself? So we can see it's going to happen. This is nice, but you have to listen here. The opposite of this energy, what you want to look out for, would be being stuck in kind of structures. This could be structures that other people have put you in or you feel confined in by others. You may need to leave some of that behind if that's the case. It could also be structures that you have built for yourself that are connected to your past version of yourself or the version of yourself that's transitioning into the next level version of yourself. So you need to look at like, where have I structured my life, or where is my mind telling me I have to do this, this, and that, or I need to have this first and then I can do this. Where have you created limiting structures in your life where are they being imposed upon you that perhaps you need to look at detaching from? Or at the very least, with this in your rooted energy, you want to ask, is this divinely aligned for me anymore? Is this commitment I want to make for not just like my head and like, you could be like, it's going to make me more money. It's going to get me more fame, not just for the egoic side, which is not to be discounted because you are in a body. So, your ego is there. It's going to tell you things. And some of those things are important, right? You don't want to discount your ego. However, this is a divine connection and commitment. What is my divinity? How is it guiding me? Is this a commitment of my soul that I want to make? Or is this just a commitment of my ego? It's like checking on what's constraining your purpose. And because you have the Page of Wands in your core, there's new information that's coming in. There's a new chapter that wants to begin that is connected to your spirit. So they want to give it to you, right? But I don't think it's gonna come in like as you're making choices that are very that are not extreme. You're making choices that are more balanced, that are harmonizing your life, that are helping you to feel softer, they're saying. Interesting. Softer. That's how they're saying it. That are taking into consideration what you might need, what feels good to you, what feels in complete alignment. That is what's going to be provided for you. But if you're not acknowledging the space and you're not leaving any space for spirit or letting any space happen, you're just continuing to go, you may be confined by structures that you're not conscious of. So I would say make sure that you're looking at what feels confining to my spirit right now. Do I want to continue to commit to that? And what feels like it's going to fire me up or set me free or inspire me? And what is connected to my purpose, and can I then commit to that moving forward? The Hierophant will most certainly provide you with that information. If you're feeling out of balance or the opposite of any of this energy that we've been talking about, you may want to go to speak to someone. That's the only other thing I'd say, just because this is grounding you. So it's like, if you're feeling lost in the in-between, the Hierophant is often a representation of someone who can connect you to the higher power, right? So like a priest or an intuitive or someone who you feel comfortable talking to that can give you wisdom that maybe you didn't even think of. So if that's the case, if you're feeling completely lost, group 2, you may want to talk to somebody like that or engage with someone like that, because it will help to reground you. All right, I'm going to look at what's behind you here for some more information. Oh, yes, the 10 of Swords. Dorothy with swords in stance picture there. Okay. This deck is great. So the 10 comes before the Page and all the minor arcana suits. This is not the same suit, right? This is swords air. This is wands and fire, but it distinctly tells us that there's some hardship that is closing and has closed. So again, this idea of being in the in-between, needing to embrace the closure of a difficult time perhaps, or a challenging mental state, some hardship that you have been through. The Ten of Swords usually shows up when it's been hard, when it hasn't been easy, and it's been, either hurtful. It could have even been like traumatic energy. You could be processing things that have been difficult for you to get through. Because we have it behind you, that tells me that you're ready to walk into this open, wondrous energy where I'm going, what inspires me? What am I truly meant to commit to right now? How can I understand that? Show me. And leaving this hardship behind, especially if it's in your mind. You want to check on the mental constraints that may be coming from past difficulties, hurts, challenges, or things that have been restricting you. Any kind of mindset that's been harsh or harmful needs to be left behind with that old version, along with the experiences that come along with it, right? We're leveling up in this group, and this just tells me, yeah, it is behind you. It has closed out, and it wants to close out. I mean, you would be the person preventing this new chapter from happening if you're holding on to this painful energy and gripping and not allowing yourself to embrace the in-between, right? Like you're gripping onto the past and just wanting to stay there, like you're refusing to put one foot over into the next world to get the information that you need to pull the other foot over and embark upon that new path. Again, Two of Pentacles, this is very step-by-step kind of, does this feel good to me? Does this feel balanced for me? Am I being led by my fire? Am I being led by my purpose? Okay, let's see what's coming up in the future that you're meant to be aware of. Group 2. The Page of Pentacles. So another page. Look at her. Look at Blanche. She's like, I took some time to relax and I made some good decisions while I did it. And now I have the key. I'm understanding, which way I'm supposed to go. So we've gotten 2 pages for you here. There's a clear indication of steps forward being given, a fire sparking inside of you, you starting to understand what commitments you're meant to be making. The Page of Pentacles, again, everything we've discussed with page energy, it's an innocent, it's a new energy, it's a young energy. Because we're working in the suit of Earth here now, up ahead, you will actually be able to take some of those steps, try some things out. It's going to move from inspiring energy or inspiration to this is how you do that. This is what you should do physically. This is the action you're meant to take. But you still have to be in this space where you're willing to explore, as opposed to, now I have all the answers. The page she's going, what am I gonna do with this pentacle? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna spend it on? How am I gonna use it? That's what she's still doing. So she's still in wonder. Start of the court cards, page and page. So, we're closing something out, and it's a very clear new chapter for you, group number 2. But I wouldn't say that you're necessarily out of the in-between. It's like I tentatively place my foot onto the path, and I'm still in wonder about how it is I can use my resources, because now I am in full acknowledgement that I have gotten to a place where I have these resources to use. So as you're moving forward, you still want to be taking one step at a time and being in that curiosity energy, as opposed to stepping into some sort of weird know-it-all energy or trying to plow forward. Page energy is explorative, and Pentacles energy is slow. So it's like, again, this feeling of, I have this one pentacle, what am I meant to do with this? And then you wait for the insight, you make really great choices for yourself, and then you'll have another pentacle that you're asking about. And you move forward from there. Definitely a new chapter coming in for this group. I feel like it's much more committed to your true soul, your true purpose at this time for you. You're definitely closing out a more difficult and maybe challenging time of your life. And right now, your flamingo spirit animal needs you to create some space for the divine and create some space for yourself to listen to the best decisions you can make, the best choices, the best actions you can take that keep you in serenity and harmony. We're harmonizing now. You've done a great job, and you're meant to acknowledge that and reflect upon that, and then stay really open to the next commitments you're meant to make that are connected to your higher divine self, your higher divine purpose, your unique energy, what you came here to do at this time. So let's see what your final message is here from your flamingo spirit animal. Manifesting and doing. Love this. 14-5. 59, 14, 5. 59 may be a number that's important to some of you. You see this card, it's all solar plexus. So it's the understanding that as I take steps and I do, right? I'm listening and then I'm taking that next step. They're just telling you this is how you're going to create what it is you desire or whatever's next for you. Your flamingo spirit animal is like, when you have reached a place where you have done, right, something, then you need to connect again. You've got to be clear again. You got to stay in alignment and start making decisions about what it is you're desiring to manifest. And then you will be given what you're meant to commit to, and then you can do as well. I feel like you are going to move forward in this group no matter what. It's just the frequency by which you're going to be moving forward and how your next level self operates may be a bit different than how the old version of yourself operates. So I would be very clear about how your next level self manifests, right? Like, what do I truly want? What do I desire? What is my intentional energy around what I want to manifest? And what does that person do to create that? Because manifesting is attraction, right? And it's not that you're not making any choices, but we can see the kind of decisions you're trying to make here are not, they're not, it almost feels like they're not risky. It's like they're so aligned and connected to divine commitment and purpose that they're almost obvious, but you have to be clear on what it is that you're trying to manifest or what it is that you're trying to attract, really is what it is. And I do believe this card is connected to the next level version, like over the threshold. So as you are in between, you want to get very clear about how you see yourself in the future, and then ask about what you can do, what feels good to you, what feels aligned, what is the next step that I can do. Manifesting and doing doesn't mean hurry up and do. It means pay attention to what's in alignment with what it is that you're trying to manifest or that you're calling in. What is the frequency of what you want to call in? How does it feel? Is this action that you're getting, is this inspiration that you're getting in alignment vibrationally, energetically with what it is that the feeling is that you're trying to manifest? Then you'll know that that's the right step to take. So it's a reconnection, it's a reflection, possibly taking a break, really focusing on making beautiful, aligned decisions that are in the same frequency as what it is you are looking to attract into your life, and embracing, of course, the in-between. So I hope that this serves you, group number 2. It was my pleasure to read for you. If something resonated in this reading for you, make sure that you give it a like, or you can leave me a comment down below, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss my future readings, and I will see you in the next one. Hello group 3, and welcome to your flamingo spirit animal reading. If you're listening to this, you have chosen the 3rd card option. This is card number 20. You are what you think. That is the message, with a bright and shiny, vibrant, colorful sun. So 2 energy with this 20, it just feels like you may have some decisions to make. There may be some relationships that are involved in your mental status, your mental state, what you're thinking about, how it is you're thinking about it, okay? Also, there's this confident, shiny energy that is definitely coming with your card as well, some vibrancy. And so I would say there's going to be a focus with your flamingo spirit animal messages here today on your mind, of course, and how it affects the way that you feel about yourself, or the way that you feel about specific choices that you're making or that you need to make, or how you feel about certain relationships that you're in. And like, they're showing the word judgment, so how you're judging things. But of course, we're going to get so much more information for you. Again, there's a clear, if you've chosen this group, there's a clear like message / warning from your card that we have to have a focus and a conscious awareness around the mind. Let's see what your core energy is first. Okay. Literally the You Are What You Think card. This is the Golden Girls Tarot Mini, just because I felt like it went nicely with the Flamingo energy, and Spirit agreed, so we're using it. This is Sophia as the Magician. This card is a massively powerful card. The Magician is the master manifester of the major arcana, and certainly you can see here with the infinity symbol over her head, wand in her hand, and all of the elements, all of the different suits, the elements of the suits she's got on the table before her. So this is a card of expertise. It basically says you can manifest whatever it is that you'd like, group number 3. However, I would say the Magician works with the power of their mind very readily and clearly. The Magician understands the power that your mind has over your physical experience and over your attraction. So what it is you're attracting in. You can basically have anything you want or attract in anything you want. But if your mindset is not believing it, if it's not in alignment with it, if you don't believe that you are like the expert of your life and that you can call in, you're basically the magician of your life, right? You're wielding the wand of your life. If you don't believe that, then you may be attracting in or calling in other things that are not so suited, they're saying, suited to you. Maybe they just don't feel like what you wanted. If that's the case, this is a reminder from your spirit animal, this flamingo today, that you have all the power. You have all the elements. You can work with all of the elements to wield your wand and then allow that to yield what it is that you would like to see in your life. You can create it. You're the expert of your own life. Nobody else has any power over you unless you let them, and it starts with your mind. The Magician is like, what is that phrase? It's not you are what you think, but your thoughts become your reality. That's the Magician energy. So we want to see what might be blocking this or challenging this energy for you now, group 3. What is challenging my group 3's Magician expertise? The Knight of Cups. Interesting. This is a movement card. So you may feel like you can't move or you've been stuck. Okay, and we're in the suit of emotions. We're in the suit of water here. So your emotions may be blocking. So how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your life, how you feel about your choices, how you feel about what you're capable of, how you feel about the resources that you have available to you, etc. This is all about moving forward from the heart center, really trusting your heart to guide you, allowing your feelings to move you in the right direction, listening to your heart to be able to know the way forward. The issue with emotions, when we're talking about especially crossing a Magician card, is if you think something, you're going to bring it about. And thoughts move to a feeling, move to an action. So if you're feeling a certain kind of way, it still backs up to your thought center. If you're only focused on what your feelings are telling you here, like if you're feeling low and that's stopping you from moving, they're telling you directly that the focus needs to be first on the thoughts. So you have to back it on up. That's the key. A Knight of Cups in a low expression, my goodness, not trusting their heart, not listening, feeling overly emotionally overloaded and to the point where they're not moving at all. The emotions don't allow them to. So again, the feelings that you're having are literally being engaged by the thoughts that you're thinking, or the thoughts are bringing them about. So the challenge is to get out of your feeling and into your mental state or into your belief system even, because you are the expert of your life. They're telling us that very directly. I mean, your flamingo spirit's like, hey, we need you to shine, but if you don't believe you can shine, then that's where our problem lies. We need to reset the belief system, reset the thoughts about ourselves. You are literally going to become whatever it is that you think. Here, I think you might be caught up in your emotions, and they're stopping you from being able to productively move forward, or for you to allow yourself to feel confident, feel bright and shiny, feel like you can make the best decisions for yourself. If this is about a relationship, because they're bringing me back to this 22 here again, this 2-0 energy. If this is about a relationship, then this is like not believing that your person is ever going to come or not going to be available for you. And so if you think that, then of course it's going to stop the movement of that heart-centered energy. The Knight of Cups in particular is like a chivalry energy. They're like giving their heart to you. They're moving forward and offering their heart. So if you don't think that that's available for you, like it's not, then you're blocking the movement of it. You're not going to be able to attract it in. There's a real mindset vibe that needs to go on in this group, a mindset shift perhaps, and recognizing the kind of emotions that you're having are not just coming out of nowhere. You're not just magically feeling a certain kind of way. You're feeling that way and it's stopping you from moving forward, or it's moving you forward in a direction that maybe you don't love what you're seeing as a result because you're not addressing the thing that's creating the emotions, right? Let's see what we have above you. What does Spirit have to say, please? The Two of Wands. Okay. It's good advice. I mean, it's good advice here. The Two of Wands is a waiting energy. You can see she's got the world in her hands and she's got those two wands just stuck there, and she's stopped on for a second to just ponder and contemplate. The Two of Wands, we're getting a 2 from Spirit again, is a decision card for sure. However, it is attached to your true spirit and what your true desires are, what your heart's desire may be, how it's lighting you up. What does your spirit want? Where are you guided to go? What is inspiring you? And it's a card that asks you to be patient and wait and actually ponder, to not try to be like super impulsive about things. It really asks you to sit for a second and to observe and to tap in and to listen and to be honest, you know, so that you can make the best decision to take on the path forward, or take on the right path, or take on the path for you, or take on the world in a way that really is aligned with you. I think there's like, it's like a resetting that's coming through, right? Where we need to stop. We need to take a moment. There's a break that needs to happen. Lots of times the flamingo is like representative of the in-between world, right? So the space between. So the Spirit is really telling you here, and this flamingo is telling you from above, we need you to take a beat, to look at your options for a second and let yourself be okay in that space, to reclaim your power perhaps. I mean, this may be very indicative of what needs to happen in order for you to like reset your mind around the fact that, yeah, like I am responsible for my life and I have all the power. I wield all the power. And if you've given that away to someone, or you've given that away to an idea or a belief system, it's time to like stop for a second and ask yourself, is this really the path that I want to continue on? Because I have another option. I have other options. I can make other choices. So there's a pause that's coming from Spirit in order to, it's an intentional pause, in order to be able to assess your choices and make the one that's in the most alignment for you, the one that's going to light you up, right? What's below you? The Justice card. Nice. So this is grounding your energy. This is very nice to see here. We have Rose with her sword in her hand. That's a sword of truth, and the scales indicating things balancing out or fairness. The Justice card below you is nice. This just tells me, group number 3, that you have every capability of understanding what your particular path of truth is. My favorite way to read a Justice card when it is in a spread, especially like when I'm reading for a person, this tells me that, you know, you have the ability to understand what is true for you and to get back firmly onto your path of truth. To have it below you, this can be more true, right? Like Spirit is telling us what is rooting you is the alignment that you need, that's only true for you, that is unique to you, you know? So whatever is going on in your mind, what you believe, that rooted system is, if it isn't in alignment with your actual truth, it's a problem, because it's going to make you feel very unbalanced. So the time is needed to ponder that, to tap into yourself, to gain the truth, and to balance things out for yourself so you can firmly step onto that path of truth as you move forward in the expert position, not allowing yourself to let your emotions override that truth, that honesty, that fairness. Yes, but that's not the right word. The Justice card balances things out, right? It's like What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you become. You are what you think. That's exactly what the justice energy is telling you. It's almost like a doubling down from spirit to say, if you keep thinking these thoughts, that's what's going to be created in your life. It's not going to feel balanced. It's going to feel like the reverse of this energy, which is like, nothing seems to be balancing out for me. Nothing seems to be working out for me. This feels so misaligned. I feel like I'm literally on the wrong path, right? I'm not on my path of truth. I'm confused and I'm, emotionally overrun, right? With this, I don't believe that I'm the expert of my life. I don't even think I have a wand. Like, where's my wand? I lost my wand. So this is about reclaiming your power over your life, the responsibility that you have as the expert of your life, and tapping in, holding up that sword and tapping in to the truth so that you can be choosing that path. If you don't take the break here like they're telling you, you may still continue to feel blocked by that. Also, I feel like this justice below you with the magician here, this is a 1 card and this is the 11th card. And you see how this 2 is hitting there, how she's writing it on the deck? It's like we have 11, 1, 11. So ones, this is the feeling of like reclamation, reinvention, reclamation of power. It feels like you're having to make decisions now for you, for what you truly want, for what you truly desire, for what's completely in alignment for you. So if you've been giving your power away in some space and it's been really upsetting you, it's time for you to claim that back, to tell yourself the truth about it. Make no bones about it. That's what they just said. Be honest, be truthful, because it will set you right up. It might be difficult, to be in that space where you're realizing the truth and then you're getting ready to, let's say, action it, and you're pondering it and you're like, holy cow, this is going to be a leap for me, or this is something that I'm really going to have to engage all of my light for and be strong to do. But it's worth it here, because if you keep thinking in the same way, that's just going to keep happening. It will feel like you're off or out of balance. Even if you don't know what the complete future is going to hold for you, at this point, taking time to ponder this and going within yourself and like getting your wand out of the closet and going like, oh yeah, I wield this wand is so important. It also, I just want to say, group 3, that if you have been lost in your emotions a bit, like, that's okay. We're human beings. Sometimes our emotional body gets flooded and it becomes like it naturally prioritizes itself in our life, and the clarity isn't there, and we maybe feel like you've been knocked down, or you start thinking in other ways about things because of whatever circumstances or experiences you're having. But you don't want to victimize yourself with this kind of energy. Like, you don't want to stay in that emotional space if it is now time for you to come out of that and go like, wait a minute, I felt about it, I had to process my emotions, but now it's time for me to take responsibility for my path and what I'm choosing in the future and my truth and what I'm thinking. You don't want to keep lingering in that energy because it'll just feel stuck. But if you've had that come up, I just want to tell you, like, that happens. Sometimes our emotional bodies get flooded, and then they are the thing that needs to be addressed. And so you just have to take some time to feel. And coming out of that, with this 2 of Wands above you, you may still be feeling some things, but it's like consciousness around how your thoughts are affecting those feelings. Okay, I want to see what's behind you. What is behind my group 2s? No, excuse me, 3s. I'm sorry if I keep calling you group 2, but you have so many 2s. Look at this, the Strength card. The Strength card often comes, I was going to say with the infinity sign, and it's small, but it is over her head. Hopefully you can see that there. See that infinity symbol? This tells me you've been strong, right? That you maybe have been in a vulnerable position even. It's like she's befriended. It looks like she's befriended. Like she's like, this is my pet lion. And again, we see the infinity symbol here. So we're naturally moving. It's like in the past, you probably have come to an understanding that you are strong, that you're able and capable. But it's like, how do I transition to reclaim my power? That's what you're doing right now. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That's what I want to say. Is like with this card behind you, this makes me feel like, okay, we're starting to befriend our strength again. And sometimes the Strength card shows up in an internal way, which often points to courageous vulnerability. So again, if your feelings have been coming up and you've been needing to process it, it doesn't make you any less strong. It just means right now we're stepping into that reclamation here where we're allowing ourselves to use that vulnerability to turn into something that is powerful. And you may be then tapping into some outward courage or strength as well. But to me, this is really sitting like I needed to befriend my inner strength. I needed to feel and allow myself to have this experience so that I could see how strong I am. Sometimes the strong people, you don't even know what they're going through because they're processing it internally. So if that has been you, just know that it doesn't make you any less strong to have gone through something. It actually makes you more powerful, more courageous, more brave. And they need you to know that now. Like if you're like, oh my God, I've been brought down by this and now I'm just a loser. How am I ever going to be able to do that? Or I don't know if I'm strong enough. Spirit is wanting to remind you that you are what you think. You are strong enough. It was needed. You like befriended your inner strength or befriended your courage again. And that's beautiful. This is all in alignment. Again, they're saying you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Lovely. Let's see what's ahead. Coming from that strength energy into a magician card. By the way, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana. So you've got a lot of Major Arcana cards, potent energy coming in for you, Group 3. Ooh, and the 8 of Cups ahead. Look at that new path. That's Rose. And she's leaving this behind. That's what she's doing here. This is a manifestation card. And we have the infinity symbol, which of course is an 8, right? Twice, and now we're getting an 8. And it's telling us how it is you're going to be moving on and the actions taken to overcome any kind of obstacle. So you're getting, more cups, more emotional energy. What's nice about this is that it tells me that I know you're going to overcome the emotional obstacle of it all. The 8 of Cups, the challenge or the obstacle that comes with a manifestation card, it always comes, right? Like the 8s in the tarot are cards of authentic manifestation energy. They're like knowing yourself enough kind of vibes, right? It's learning to know yourself well. And so oftentimes they come with an obstacle, like the opposite. They give us the obstacle that we have to overcome to be able to feel like we're in alignment with ourselves. So for you, you have this obstacle here of an emotional energy stopping your forward movement, but we can see in the future what happens is you leave that behind for the new adventure, for the new path. That's what the 8 of Cups is all about. To manifest the desires that you want, fulfillment energy, to manifest your heart's desire or to be fulfilled, a wish come true, etc. Because that's where it wants to move, right? With an 8 of Cups ahead, so you're going to reclaim your power here, and then we move away from anything that is emotionally disruptive, disturbing, that's holding you back, that is making you feel less than, making you think thoughts that are creating emotions that just don't work for you anymore. You may be leaving certain heart connections or healing certain emotional experiences, meaning you've processed it and it's time for you to walk away from it. That's what she's doing. She's leaving the past pain, hurt, the emotions that are not working anymore. She's willing to leave that behind now, knowing that doesn't work for her anymore. It's not in alignment with her true power and her truth. You see how we're seeing the choice of path? What am I going to choose? Here, the 8 of Cups frees your heart and it allows you to be open to a new path and open to a new adventure, even if you don't know what it might hold. And by doing that, by walking away from that difficulty, that emotional, it could be hurt, pain, whatever this challenge is here that we were talking about, you walk right into a 9 of Cups. And a 9 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. So she doesn't know that that's what she's walking into, but because she is brave enough and strong enough to walk away from what's harming her, hurting her, or bringing her down emotionally, she receives her heart's desire, right? She walks into that beautiful energy. So here, the new adventure awaits. You will make the decision for you because we can see you're operating in a space of truth. You're allowing yourself to ponder, you're reclaiming your power, and then you're willing to go like, this isn't for me anymore. And I don't believe that. about myself anymore. My truth says this, and so I'm going to leave that behind for a new adventure. And it's very good. If you manifest your heart's desire in that way, as I said, you'll be able to attract. It's like you become the expert of your life and you go, the expert, me as the expert of my life, wielding my wand, doesn't stay for this. I'm going to move on from it. And it's beautiful energy. So love that. Okay, let's see what we have for your final message from your flamingo spirit animal group number 3. Find your sacred flow. And it's a 12-3. This just feels like it's speaking to the processing that you're doing and understanding that you're not going to be stuck forever. Yeah. Like, again, you are exactly where you're meant to be. It almost feels like it's a reset. Like, I keep saying that, but that's what it feels like. It's like we're resetting. The flow that was happening before probably is not working. And that's why your flamingo spirit animal is giving you this in the end. It's okay for you to be in this space where you're looking for your next vortex, where you're looking for where it is that you can connect to, the alignment you're looking for, the frequency that you're looking for that is going to feel completely in alignment for you, where you feel like it's a flow. This vortex that you're looking for that feels in complete alignment, that's what you're looking for. And I think that you'll get an understanding of it here, especially as you're engaging the thoughts that you're thinking and how they're affecting your emotions. And that's just going to lead you onto the adventure of finding that flow. So the truth almost sets you onto that path. It gets you to distinguish the difference between the frequencies that work and don't work. And that is your sacred flow. So I hope that this serves you, group number 3. It looks like you are in a reinvention energy, and as long as you get your mind on board here and you take the time to reflect and honor your truth, you'll be onto a new adventure and in a different flow altogether. So again, I hope it serves you. It was my pleasure to read for you, group 3. If something resonated with you in this reading, please give this video a like, or you can leave me a comment down below. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my future readings, and I will see you in the next one.